Hello, once again, welcome to the Security Update, which we often look at issues concerning security in the continent from west to east, and these are the stories making the headlines. Somaliland police arrest Ethiopian man for murder of youth in Hargeisa. Amnesty International calls on Ethiopia to prioritize justice for sexual violence victims and survivors. President Ruto and Uhuru Kenyatta vow to restore peace in Democratic Republic of Congo. Somalia government says over 100 Al-Shabaab fighters killed in the latest attacks. Welcome to the program. Somaliland police have confirmed the arrest of Ahmed Sharif, who is an Ethiopian man, in connection of the murder of 22-year-old man in Hargeisa. The police reported in a statement that the suspect killed the deceased with a knee strike.
Police have confirmed the arrest of Ahmed Sharif, who is an Ethiopian man, in connection of the murder of 22 years old in Hargeisa last night. The police reported in a statement that the suspect killed the deceased with a knee strike. Police arrived at the scene and launched a manhunt against the suspect, which they eventually detained within a short period of time and expected him to be in court soon to answer the allegation against him. This is the second murder the police reported in less than 48 hours that happened in Hargeisa following the Friday killing. The police reiterated its statement to the public to desist from involving crimes against humanity and to report to security agencies if they see any suspicious activities.
Human rights group Amnesty International has called on the African Union to pressure the Ethiopian government to ensure justice for victims of sexual violence in the two-year war with the Ukrainian forces.
Amnesty International wants the Ethiopian government to ensure justice for victims of sexual violence as part of the Tigray peace process and urged the African Union to pressure Addis Ababa to the end. Earlier this month, Amnesty International launched a campaign highlighting human rights violations committed by Ethiopian government forces, militia groups and Tigray rebel groups. The warring factions agreed to end hostilities in African Union mediation led by former Nigerian President Obasanjo. But the rights group says the process has yet to provide a roadmap for accountability for war crimes and crimes against humanity. Rights groups have accused warring parties of committing crimes against innocent people, a claim the groups deny. Amnesty International's Fiseha Tekle wants unrestricted access for human rights investigators to probe abuses against civilians in the two-year conflict in northern Ethiopia.
Kenya's President William Ruto and former President Uhuru Kenyatta have assured their commitment to restore peace in the Democratic Republic of Congo. The commitment was made during the third inter-Congolese consultations of the Nairobi peace process held in Nairobi on Monday.
The event at Safari Park Hotel in Nairobi was officiated by Burundi President Evariste Ndayishimiye and former President Uhuru Kenyatta. Other leaders who virtually attended the event include Rwanda's President Paul Kagame and his Ugandan and DRC counterparts Yoweri Museveni and Felix Tshisekedi. Tanzania's Suluhu Hassan was represented by Foreign Affairs Minister Stergomena Tax, while UN boss Antonio Guterres was represented by UN Special Envoy for the Great Lakes region, Huang Zi. The leaders called on armed groups in eastern DRC to lay down their weapons and embrace the ongoing political process to restore peace in the troubled region. They also expressed concern over the dire plight of refugees, calling for urgent restoration of peace in the volatile region, which will allow voluntary return and settlement of displaced persons. Former President Uhuru Kenyatta said the solution to the conflict in DRC can only be resolved by the people of DRC with the help of friends. In his part, President Ruto stated that their devotion to the peace mission is a sign of political goodwill to restore peace in DRC.
The Ugandan People's Defense Forces UPDF will next week deploy its contingent in Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo under the new East African Regional Forces, joining regional peers in the ongoing efforts to pacify the war-torn area.
UPDF spokesperson Brigadier General Felix Kulagie said that soldiers who will be deployed in DRC under the regional force are in the final touches of readying for it and are currently completing mentoring sessions before they join their Kenyan counterparts who are already in Goma. The East African Regional Force is an ambitious program by East African community leaders aimed at bringing lasting peace to restive eastern DRC Congo and requires regional countries to contribute a specific number of fighters. The regional force will battle the many rebel groups operating in the area if they refuse to lay down their arms and join an ongoing Nairobi peace process. Uganda's deployment in DRC will bring the number of regional countries already deployed there to 3 after Burundi and Kenya, whose forces are already on the ground.
According to the federal government of Somalia, over 100 Al-Shabaab members, including 10 ringleaders, were killed in the latest attacks against the group and took control of Eldera village from Al-Shabaab. But we will be back after the short break.
Making documentaries is one of the most creative craft and challenging endeavors you can be involved in. It is an effective strategy to inform, persuade, educate, defend the perspective, and shed light on various issues, policies, and activities. At CBA TV, documentary production is our forte. We capture every TikTok detail of events in highest resolution to tell the story you care about, from politics to human hunger, research-based content, educative and informative. We also help you project your story in a dynamic perspective that attracts the world views of the target audience, as there is no better or more powerful way to place the organization's values and achievements than to make an excellent documentary film. No doubt, our strength lies in these ventures, and we pride in many award-winning documentaries which have been earning accolades across Africa and beyond. Let's tell your story.
Welcome back again. According to the federal government of Somalia, over 100 Al-Shabaab members, including 10 ringleaders, were killed in the latest attacks against the group and took control of Eldera village from Al-Shabaab. The federal government of Somalia says at least 100 Al-Shabaab fighters, including 10 ringleaders, were confirmed dead during the latest attacks in Eldera area at the port of Middle Shabelle and Hiran regions, with no civilian casualties. The Ministry of Information stated that the National Armed Forces conducted the operation after they received intelligence reports that the Al-Shabaab members were stationed in the targeted locations. The Al-Shabaab members were plotting an attack against the government, the report added. The government revealed that airstrikes were also conducted during the operation with the help of international partners, and they eventually claimed to have fully captured the control of the Eldera area from the group. The government's statement came a few hours after Al-Shabaab claimed to have killed 49 Somali soldiers during the attack at Taif village in Galgaduud region, a claim denied by the federal government of Somalia. The federal government of Somalia has confirmed the death of Muhammad Hassan Umar, known as Abu Abdurrahman, who is a senior Al-Shabaab figure, due to the wounds he sustained during military operation last month. But Al-Shabaab said he had succumbed to unspecified illness.
The government said in a statement a senior Al-Shabaab member wounded in a security operation by the Somali army last month on the border between the lower and middle Shabelle regions died from his severe wounds in Middle Juba's Chilib town. According to the Somali government, Muhammad Hassan Umar, known as Abu Abdurrahman, served as a senior figure in the group and was responsible for misleading youth. Al-Shabaab confirmed the death of their former Benadir leader in a statement, but said that Umar had succumbed to an unspecified illness. Abu Abdurrahman is the second senior Al-Shabaab official to be assassinated in the last 2 months. Hundreds of villages have been liberated by the government forces and the local clan militias forces during their recent offensive, with over 1,000 militants killed in the last 6 months.
President of Somalia Hassan Sheikh held a meeting with the traditional elders and religious leaders in Updaate district of Middle Shabelle region and supported their efforts to end the inter-clan conflict in the area.
President of Somalia Hassan Sheikh held a meeting with the traditional elders and regional leaders in Updaate district of Middle Shabelle region and supported their effort to end the inter-clan conflict in the area. The president, who stressed the importance of strengthening peace and local development and social reconciliation, underlined that it's unacceptable to set up illegal roadblocks in the region and harass citizens who are traveling, while instructing the security agencies and traditional elders to unite for anyone who is found to be an obstacle to the harmony and stability. The president also stated that Al-Shabaab is putting the Somali people against each other, and it's a great misfortune that their enemy will get the opportunity they were looking for. Also, the president urged local residents to unite in the fight against Al-Shabaab, which he termed it as a common enemy. Meanwhile, in the meeting, a resolution approved by the Council of Ministers was read yesterday regarding the new areas to be liberated from Al-Shabaab. This resolution includes security and peace and law and order and traffic and control of violation by the military and criminals in the area, freed from the violence and the protection of human rights and law enforcement. Also, the president of Middle Shabelle State, Ali Goodlaw Hussein, who was present at the meeting, promised to give priority to the implementation of the provisions of the Just Peace Declaration in order to achieve peace, development, and lasting stability.
And with that story of the President of Somalia, Hassan Sheikh Mohamud, held a meeting with the traditional elders and religious leaders in Updaate district of Middle Shabelle region, we'll wrap up our program for this time. Thank you very much. This is me, Hamse Daabjeerin.